What I can tell from these two is that they like to prioritize two things, the Roam and the EXP, which actually shows their Filipino coach DNA. For the longest time, that's always been something about Filipino teams, the priorities in the EXP and the Roamer matchups. First pickup without the Roger. Terizla. Yeah, now I'm starting to get why teams aren't always rushing to first pick the Harith.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the Terizla pickup, especially with how Minun plays. How it seems like her nature is to heal and take care. Well. Ah, yes. You mentioned that earlier.
Oh, but it's Yuzong. We have to remember, this has been banned.
I think we're about to see why.
Yeah, we're about to see why.
But this is a give. The Zenith decide to give this to them. They gave the Yuzong, meaning there's a response coming up.
I would honestly say go for the Terizla. And the thing is, you kind of want to pick up an assassin, but it's kind of not good going up against the Yuzong. It's hard for you to position yourself, especially during those neutral objectives. It's hard for an assassin to go for a turtle or lord fight in the first place, but having a Yuzong, much more difficult. So since the Yuzong is picked up, oh, Angela! Okay, Angela's okay. The claw's a bit early for me, though.
Yeah. I honestly thought that they'd go for their assassin show already, because we are in that meta where you can show your cards early, like your main condition, and it's fine. Because usually those power picks control the early game so well. So now VSG, they're going to be thinking, ooh, what are they going to be pairing with that Angela? Because an Alpha will be open, so they go for full crowd control. That will give Alpha a difficult time, if ever that was the idea. Zenith is floating. It's Edith and Vexana.
Think about it, perhaps they pick up the claw because the claw can actually survive against the Yuzong. So now that I think about it, it's alright. It's alright. It's cool.
So they immediately went for the safest gold lane in the matchup.
Before he gets banned or picked up?
Good call. Good call. I agree.
So now I feel like, yeah, Assassin is going to be quite difficult here. The Benedetta could be okay because it's hard to catch in the Electro Final Blow. Yeah. You can dodge the Onward and the Earth Shatter. They're going to pick up the Terizla before it gets banned out and still hiding where this Angela is going. Could be mid, could be Roam.
Okay. So with the Terizla pickup, a part of me was thinking maybe CC, but then earlier... Oh yeah, Julian in the jungle is possible. By the way, quick update for everyone, very important. If VSG goes 1-1 against Xeno Lily, so if this results in a 1-1, there will be a best-of-1 tiebreaker that will be played on Stream B to decide the top seed for Group C. Our friends Abstract and Husky, our fellow casters, will be on Stream B to cover that for you. A potential BO1 tiebreaker if this series now ends up in a 1-1 tie.
Sounds very fun. But going back into the draft here, Harv as well as Alice has been banned. Harv makes a lot of sense. Something else that you may consider, we haven't seen a lot of Moskov. But again, Moskov is one of those very risky picks. If you're really good, you can 1v9. But getting to that point is very difficult.
Yeah. If ever the Moskov here will be a little bit more conservative, wait for the Yuzong to entry, and then really time if you're gonna go in with your Spear of Destruction teleport, because it looks like this Edith and Vexana makes a lot of picks more difficult, but yeah, take it out. Oh, you were, excuse me, I mixed up the teams there for a moment.
Yeah, Moskov banned out here.
Moskov banned out, yeah.
The Julian is still an okay pick. The Joy gets banned out.
Oh yeah, Joy Jala was pretty...
Oh yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, it's a really great matchup. And that will make the Vexana struggle. I should remember. Okay, before we forget him, if ever they want to go on Assassin, Alpha? Nolan is still up. We mentioned Alpha earlier.
I feel like Alpha Angela is quite okay.
Yeah, but again, into an Edith and a Vexana, it's so difficult.
It's difficult with that kind of mindset.
So it's a mindset thing. And we know Xeno
They play with confidence.
They play with confidence. But if ever, Carry might be the pickup for VSG later.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And it's not going to be like a vengeance on it.
Oh, fairness.
I am leaning towards Alpha now even harder.
It's like, we will die, just eventually.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, it has to be Alpha or another tanky presence because so far it's only the Terizla. And I feel bad for this Terizla if it's the only frontliner.
Yeah, they need a lot of damage too.
Yeah.
Faramis skills up after 2 items. Before this it was 3, now 2 is enough for the Faramis. But yeah, not a lot of early pressure for now, unless you solve it with the jungle pickup. So now for VSG, the Benedetta again, again, Benedetta, 4th pick is pretty strong.
Yep.
And the Beatrix. The Beatrix will do well against the Faramis.
Yeah, she has the Bennett's Rage to take out, and well, even the Nibiru's Passion to take out the ultimate of the Faramis quickly. The effects of that.
Cool altar.
Netherrealm.
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 I've been in this scene for so long. I remember the old names.
It's okay. No, that was stuck in my head too. That's why
Right,
I was
Altar.
pausing. It's like, wait, it's not Cult Altar anymore. So it's like you heard what I was thinking. Alpha makes sense. Barrett's too difficult and will just get poked down like crazy. Nothing's gonna happen. They need to match the damage and they need an extra front line. I think Alpha's the last pick. If they go anything else, it's such a risky composition.
Nolan Hayabusa is up, but then it's like, what's the Angelus going to be using? Martis!
Right, there's another one too.
Yeah, but we haven't seen this for ever.
Yeah, Martis jungle. We've
Actually,
seen
no.
Martis mid,
Martis, yeah,
but not jungle.
that's crazy. We've seen Martis mid more than Martis jungle.
Yeah. Ooh, how is this going to fare? I am.
This is old school MLBB.
Yeah, for
Look at the draft.
Xeno Zenith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That is
Old school.
old school. That is the same time frame earlier.
Season 10?
Season 11 or 12.
11, yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit of a throwback with the lineup here for the Lilies. Let's see if they'll be enough to go up against VSG and get that win early on in this BO2. Mirko, Trex, what y'all thinking?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's me, Naisu, with Mirko.
Wait, you're not Trex?
I'm not Trex, man. Trex is on the rest. He's getting some rest because he's going to be back on desk with us later. But yeah, welcome to the desk here, the English desk for MWI here at EWC. It's me, Naisu, and Mirko bringing the action to round out the group here. Group C, and like we had it broken down, of course, from Renmar and the Fell, this could imply a possible tiebreaker later on, depending how the series goes. But, you know, Mirko, you've seen this now, the past two matches. Who do you think has the better draft here?
Oh, man, it's really tough to say that, but honestly, I'll have to go with Victory Song Gamers. I feel like, especially with the Benedetta, Kyoe was able to perform so well, Kaylee as well, and you can see the mid-prior already. Look at how they're utilizing this mid lane. Actually not going to go for the shove, but actually utilizing the shove from Xeno Lilies against Xeno Lilies to try to go and poke them out. But unfortunately, didn't really go too well for them there. They get chunked a bit, but I do want to give a shout out, by the way, to LaFell. I agree. Karutu sounds better than Netherrealm. I agree.
Hey, you know what? Either way, I feel like some people, you know, Netherrealm, Cult Altar, whatever you want to go with, too. Oh, hold on. Actually, good poke for Taro here. One thing, too, it is almost a throwback, man. Looking at this lineup that we're seeing here, it's a throwback to, what do you say, Season 10? I think it was like around that time. It's been a while since we've seen this, and yeah, I've been so stuck on the fact that when we saw Martis picked up, put in the mid lane, it was such a good answer to things, you forget that, all right, originally you see Martis so much in the jungle. Now, matching up, let's talk about the matchup because, like we said, Kyoe on this Benedetta jungle had a massive performance already. I think she got even more fans than she already has. How does that matchup work against the Martis jungle?
I don't know. It really comes down to, I would say it's just execution, right? Because when it comes to clearing, this has been the biggest issue with a lot of the jungle matchups, right? Because pathing is so important.
Yeah.
Clear speed is so important. Benedetta, my main concern when Kyoe picked the Benedetta in their first game was how is it going to perform up against Julian? That was the matchup before. And she did amazing. She was actually clearing the jungle way faster. So the Martis also really, really good at clearing. I feel like they are kind of on the same boat in that department. Both of them also have anti-CC. Eye for an eye. There's a Mortal Coil there.
Yep.
And you can see both of them level 5. So Kyoe actually still ahead. So maybe because of the gank towards the bottom lane, able to pick up that gold crab, getting a bit more gold, getting a bit more damage. It seems for the setup. Earth Shatter, Gaily. Gonna poke Kao down. Ramichi on it as well now. Both of them trying to dance around the turtle.
So still very kind of testing the waters here. Also, Manon has the Black Dragon form, can use that, but they're going to go in actually now.
The penalty zone now. Kyoe able to dash out to safety. Kao still in the midst of it all. Gaily popping a primal rat, deals some damage. That's Ramichi winning on the Rectory battle. Good disengage the final blow. Ramichi, one decimate, looking for another now with a Mortal Coil too. Shiromi with the sustained synchro gonna be caught. Flickers out to safety but gets tied up as Kao finds the kill. Saw in the mid lane, able to dash out. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Blazing Duet, Taro winning on the trade, but Rian will still be able to survive.
Xeno Lilies just got everything on that whole exchange, and they might still go for another kill here on the bottom side, but man, talk about the power of this Angela pick and how it fits so well into the lineup that Xenolili's brought to the table. You saw how strong that hard guard can be. Even the focusing mark, you know, that's a little extra boost. That's 6%. That helps with that. And, you know, that poke potential was already very impressive with what they had in the fight. You add that to the table, and it works wonders here. Eyes is still set on this bottom side, though.
Michi with the retreat. Good flicker out from Rian. Really just respecting that. Mortal Coil used up. She has the stacks. Does a bit of damage onto the turret. Kyoe, low. Final blow to the front. Gotta be careful. She does use the eye for an eye, but it's a bit different here when you don't have a Petrify up top. Cow swinging the hammer down. Almost getting the kill on Minin, who's still very comfortable in that lane. Just pops regen, acts as if nothing happened.
This is interesting too. I can't recall the previous game that we saw with the Yuzhong pick, but this is a Warcry Yuzhong. And you know, because typically I would say, what do we see the most of? Quantum Charge Yuzhong?
Yeah.
I think that's the kind of default that we see. So I'm wondering if this will be, this little boost of damage is going to be big of that much of a threat, because if you look at the lineup here from VSG, they're all about damage. You know, for the most part, it's like your main tank for this is obviously Gailey here on the Edith. But once that Primal Wrath is used, it's like, all right, now we have an Eternal Guard being the front line, you know, and that's kind of all we have. So I'm wondering, again, with the Yuzhong, maybe a little bit, you lose some of that sustainability, some of that movement speed you can work with, so you're really trying to overload the damage when it comes to these fights, but it looks like, hey, they're just going to give up the objective. You know, they don't want to fall further behind than they already are, as Ramichi gets the turtle.
Clean, and this is usually why the Martis is used up in the jungle. You clear really fast, you have an amazing, I would say, early game skirmish power that you can utilize to force a lot of these team fights, and the execute obviously makes it as though you already have a Sky Piercer from level 4 onwards, right? It's even crazier. It's like a Sky Piercer plus a great Dragon Spear in a way, because you get that movement speed, you get so much more pressure, and I love the fact that she has gone for the Hunter Strike. Usually on the Martis, this is kind of the gamble you play when you play the Martis. In the early game, you win out the fight, you go for Hunter Strike. You lose out the fight, you go for a more defensive build, and luckily for Xeno, they got the fight in their way in the first, you know, turtle, and they're able to just snowball off of that.
Just build up from that point, you know, and at the same time, it's kind of like, if you're looking at VSG and you guys watched their matches earlier, you know, they can still obviously get a lead in this game. It's still early on, but it's more so of like, where do we find the pickoffs here? That's where you start to have to utilize the Yuzhong pick that's brought to the table. Gailey has to land those combinations that we see these Ediths do all the time. And then even to round it out, I mean, for the most part, Beatrix, we haven't seen her too often. She's still a great pick, I would say, you know, for most gold laners, but it's almost in a sense where you see so much Claude's picked up, the Harith's picked up, that Beatrix has been slept on a little bit. So I think even for Rian, you want to have that gold lane experience. Farm up, get the items that you need, lock those in, and then contribute to these fights. So I think for VSG too, that might be where we see them again, just give up an objective, give up the next turtle even. But look at this, Ramichi goes up top. It's a flicker.
It's always the flicker, the response to any sort of gank, and that's why the Beatrix is so vulnerable.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll take your point there. It's very tough. As a gold lane player myself, this is why I personally don't like the Beatrix pick. Even in MSC, when it's picked up, not a fan of it, because especially up against the Claude, there's so many more ways for the Claude to outplay you.
Yeah. But like at some point, you get that spike, you try to turn the tide. They're on the fight for the turtle, though.
Penalty zone. Oh, Ramichi again winning it out now with a good Petrify down. Eternal Guard connecting on a count, still able to flicker out to safety. The final blow does some damage, but Kyoe is going to be caught by Taro, who slows her down for the Decimate. Gailey, Primal Wrath on a turret, another Decimate. Ramichi finds it again. Might be looking for more. Oh, he finds the Maniac. Ramichi dives under tier 2.
Oh, Pro, man, again, you know, when you saw this Martis picked up, this might not be what we expected, because for so long now we've seen Martis in the mid, but this is what you have to remember. The Decimate is such a big threat. The resets after reset. And this is, yes, it's so fitting. It's the Levi Ackerman.
Boom.
Boom, the triple, and goes in. And you know what? Why not take the Maniac? Worth.
I don't know. It's worth. It definitely is worth when we're talking about the numbers here, right? Because that's for one, technically. They also got the neutral objective. but that's a big shutdown. That's a massive shutdown. 5-0 she was before getting shut down, and that gold is going to go. I think if it went to Rian, then we would be a bit more concerned. But even to Synchro, that's actually going to help her quite a bit. She was way more behind than only 1,000 compared to Sa.
She's still down, 1,000 gold here, but yeah, that is going to help out a little bit. Still working on that second item too. You also saw, at least now Gailey's a little bit more tanky. She's got Dominance Ice working on the next, but that's also a Thunder Belt picked up now for Kyoei. So she has a little bit more, and I feel like this is, in a way, it's like you're forced to now stick together. That's kind of the game plan because of, how do you deal with the sustainability with the Angela? Because he's going to be used.
Good reaction. Oh, the onward, just a pixel away from hitting. Taro gets out.
Yeah, look at that, hovering over too with the hard card. So they're like, nope, I got it. They just give the signal, she's fine. They put pressure on top. So now look what the play is here from Xenolilies. Go put pressure on top, do that. Wings are also now picked up by Kao. Even more tanky is this Terizla to help even to work in conjunction with the Body of Smith passive. So they'll go ahead and start with the Lord here. Again, for VSG, they're still, I don't know, it doesn't look good if they force a fight in this first objective. I'd honestly like to see them just go ahead and be a little more defensive and then just farm up a little bit longer, because even so, Xenolilies, with the lineup that they have, very strong in this portion of the map. You're going to see that too. They're going to play around the Nether Realm that they have. They'll start it up still very slowly here, working on it. Going to spot out Kyoei as well, pushing her back. Ramichi, very confident once again on this Martis pick, but still, neither team committing just yet as they kind of feel out the territory here. But eventually, Xenolilies will go ahead and play around the fact that they have some macro advantage to this. They've got 3 turrets to VSG's none, and so they can go ahead and take their time with this. But so far, respect. Cow.
Penalty zone, Gailey goes over to onward. Now Eternal Guard in the midst of it all as well. Good Nether Realm to actually dish out a little bit more damage. Ramichi finding Gailey in the back line, now diving as well with the help of the Hard Guard. The Eternal Guard almost getting rid of Kao. The Glowing Wand proc as well, not enough as Kyoei is taking down Rian. Getting shot down, doesn't go for the render just yet. Meanwhile,
I think they can hold them off. Possibly if they work through this, that's a quarter of the health here. They're gonna have to do something unless they just watch this play out. Renner's gonna be used. She's gonna find a target.
Finding Ramichi, but she still finds the retreat into the Decimate. Minion gonna be caught despite getting a good Furious dive. That's why the anti-CC, the Mortal Coil of the Martis is so annoying to deal with.
Just a massive game here from Ramichi, 7-1 now. Even if she was shut down earlier, now you can see it too. She's going for, she picked up that Hunter Strike early on, and this is what I liked about the Martis. The build is very flexible. It's very adaptable. She is now going that tanky, because now she is, even with the Heart Guard, or without the Heart Guard, her alone is tanky enough as a frontliner, and the Mortal Coil, the way that it works, it's kind of finicky. You really, it's almost a feint in a way to deal with that. But look at this damage.
Wow,
the damage dealt here. This is still, it's crazy to see Fairmist still do this kind of damage.
I guess because for the most part, VSG, this is something that I think Xenolilies did a great, read on VSG in their game against Team Falcons, because VSG, they are known to go for these big team fights where they clump up together.
Yeah.
And that's why the Fairmist is finding so much value. Every single time VSG look for that combo, they're the ones to get punished by the Nether Realm extending the HP bars of every single member, and obviously the Ghost Bursters. That finds a lot of value when you are clumped up.
Now they're going to have to deal with this Lord push, top side, trying to hold on to these base turrets the best they can. It is only the first Lord, so they'll make quick work of it. They get poked, though, still under the base turret. They'll see for Xenolilies if they can actually put some pressure more. They still got a tier 2 on the bottom side to work on too, so they'll go ahead and send down Taro to clear and push that wave in. Surprisingly too, they hold on to that tier 1 still, even at this point of the game, with VSG only having that 1 turret. So really, even looking at the items here, as things kind of fall into place, it's still up in the air. Where are you going to find that initiation, that frontliner? Because right now in this game, Kyoei can't do it.
No.
She shined earlier when we saw her play the Benedetta because of the lineups that they had at the time, the way that they were able to move around the map and play front side. But at this point, you're a Benedetta where it's like you just gotta kind of wait for your moment. And it's the opposite for Ramichi. Ramichi on a Martis can just kind of, swing around the way that Mortal Kombat, that's the sound that Mortal Kombat has for me, and it's like, you can
specific skin.
specific, yeah, sorry, the specific skin. If only, you know, Levi was flying around too, but unfortunately that doesn't happen. So buffs are going to be choked out, of course, but really this is the downtime until this next Lord. And I don't know, Miracle, I think even now, VSG isn't really capable, unless somehow they get a setup of a lifetime to go ahead and contest this next objective.
It's really hard to, I mean, like, say what VSG really need to do, because technically the easy way would be, yeah, bait out some of these resources, but it's way easier said than done. You need to bait out Netherrealm, you need to bait out the Hard Guard, and while you're trying to go back and forth, there's a Martis chasing you down. There's Taro, who can constantly put down some utility with the slows from the corrosion side as well. So it's really hard for you to even kite back. It's way easier said than done, and even then, I don't know. It almost feels like this is why. Oh, Kaylee! Goes over to Onward, doesn't find it, gets the Earth Shatter, but Sai just walks out of the Bennett's rage. And now they've used all the resources. Oh, Shiromi unable to survive right there. Good final blow to the back line. Trying to zone them away with Shiromi taken down.
But that was everything. They used everything for that just to get Shiromi. So, you know, Xeno Lilies, they know. They have this information, and even down a member, they might just kind of poke, get the information they need, and start up this Lord here. Kiwi does pick up a Malefic Roar at this point, and you can see Lord is hurting, right? You can't just sit there and tank it. So they might even have to wait for the Netherrealm to be back up, even down a member. But as soon as Shiromi gets close, you know, she can just hard guard into the fight if she wants to. Still respecting the damage here too. You know, interesting maneuvers earlier from Gailey as well. Yeah. Utilizing that flicker, goes in again. Trying to get that out. Not gonna happen though. Eternal Guard drops though too. You can see Hard Guard being held on top here for Taro. This might be the time. I mean, they're very disciplined, very taking their time with this. Actually, they still don't want to commit to it.
Yeah, I don't think they need to commit to it. Again, knowing how much the Lord hurts now in this patch, I think we saw Xeno Lilies actually do that against Team Falcon's Mena earlier. They try to go for the Lord dance. The Lord new passive kicks in. They start getting melted down by the Lord, and then they lose the fight. So obviously for Xeno Lilies, they definitely want to utilize the advantage they have in the side lane. They have an Angela that's going to be constantly pushing these waves towards VSG. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's just really tough. They were able to bait out Sauce Purify, though. So that's already a really good setup for Gailey. So perhaps go for something. Conceal, onward, Earth Shatter, into the Terrify, into the Eternal Guard. The combo is massive, but Sa comes in with another Netherrealm. Mortal Coil from Ramichi. Gailey gonna be taken down. No, just Immortality. Kao losing her life. Now Kyoe jumping in the midst of it all. Good knockdown from the Lord Rian. Guns are down. Taro with a crown. Straight into the nature of Rian. Looking for some damage. Taro able to use the BMI backwards. Rian going for the chase down. Trying to look for the read as to where they are. Ramichi.
Oh, they're gonna find her?
Goes for it now with the Mortal Coil 2. Doesn't want to go for the Decimate. Sa comes back up, almost gets rid of Rian and Minim. But now 5 and 11. VSG, they found a way.
They found a way. That's what I was going to say. You know, I was like, man, I don't know if they can contest it, but hey, they actually just played the tune that Xeno Lily set. They didn't commit to the Lord just yet. They were waiting earlier before that whole fight broke out. They used all their ultimates. They waited for them to be back online. And then, in a very similar fashion, they started the fight up after Xeno Lily started the Lord and end up winning. And that's also just because the positioning of Rian was on point here. And again, this is where, you know, Beatrix, she takes a while to get to this point. She's got 4 items now, make it 5, just gets the Blade of Hephaestus, has that, picked up the Wind of Nature earlier. Oh, and they're actually gonna go run it down mid a little bit further.
Black Dragon form, great zoning, just to enable the charge to happen from the Lord. Mortal Coil gonna be used up. Gailey forced to use the Primal Wrath bottom lane though. This is why the Benedetta gets a lot of value when you are ahead, when you have the proactive maneuvers. No Purify to Terrify connects onto Sa. She actually already has a Purify, and that's some crazy patience to have. Knowing that everybody could collapse, Sa still holds onto the Purify, which is great for her.
Hey man, I would say, you know, this is that extra inning that VSG needed in this game. They waited, you know, quite some time. They were down quite a bit. They had some pretty bad team fights earlier on in the game. But through their discipline, they've managed to get this point, which is essentially it's even now. Like, it's an even ball game. They've got the items that they needed. They're locked in now. And so all that does, yeah, they got some turrets that they desperately needed to be able to move around the map. But really what that does, is allow them to be on even footing for the next Lord, which is usually most likely going to be a game-winning Lord, depending on how both teams kind of play that out. Also an Immortality being picked up. A couple more defensive items here locked in too, because again, Killway also has to be, you know, it's different in the sense of when you are this Benedetta, you have to be very careful in your placements or how you enter those objective dance-offs. And with this, all she has to do for now is push these side lanes, you know, and you're going to see them respond. Oh, top side.
DPZ flicker backwards too.
Hard card.
Hard card was used up in the bottom lane. That's a 1v1. Ramichi versus Kyowe, who still has the immortality. Can actually look for it. Let's see how this 1v1 goes. Good eye for an eye. Another dash, perhaps. Ramichi knows that there will be a lot of ways for Kyowe to outplay. Good Stampede. Kyowe very low, still wants to go for the purple buff. Will try to go for the steal.
Wow.
Seems like she will be able to secure it. Ramichi got terrified.
Yeah.
Great timing for Synchro.
She got that, and she'll have to go ahead and heal up, of course, but they're going to hold down this the space, of course, around the Lord here. And once again, they're going to find themselves dancing it out. You know, it's not often that we see this anymore. It's not often that we see teams really kind of take this a little bit slowly, and they still have to be mindful of the fact that, yeah, Lord, especially with this one, 20 minutes in, it's going to hurt. Conceal going to be used, though.
Good Stampede, Gaily. Waiting for the Onward. Doesn't find Onward, but does get the Earth Shatter. Ramichi already using the Mortal Coil earlier, waiting for that cooldown for the anti-CC to be back. Xeno Lily is doing a good job with the sustain. This is the Angela's value. Long team fights. Keep on poking, because we can keep on healing.
And they still go ahead and dance this one off. Heartguard just hovering over Ramichi. Gaily, though, already using that Primal Wrath, so she's not going to have that just yet. They've got the information for Xeno's Lily, so they'll go ahead and start this up. Not sure if they can fully commit to it yet because of the immortalities. I mean, we're looking at, what, 3 immortalities for VSG. But still saw also holding down that front side. The poke is there. Look at the damage from this Paramis. It's 100,000.
Oh, there you go again.
And that's why a lot of it is just going ahead and using those bursters to the potential that they're meant for. And, you know, they always talk about the power of having a Netherrealm. Well, talk about the power of poke as well. Even the build that she went here is why it's working so well. And she can still play around the fact that she has the Purify. So, you know, wave management, this is where you also have to take that in consideration. You have a big wave up top as well for Xeno Lilies. And this is something, like I said, that you don't see teams have to do too often. So this is where you have to see the macro level. Conceal, once again, from Gaily.
Good Onward into the Earth Shatter. Petrified Furious Dive. No Eternal Guard just yet. Immortality can be used up. Eternal Guard plays down. Netherrealm coming down as well as Cal finds penalty zone into the backline. No Kyowe with the final blow. Able to escape now. Gaily with the Primal Wrath. Deals some damage to Taro. Gets rid of the HP Marsa. Gets rid of Rian with the Ghost Bursters. Gaily forced to flicker out. Saw chasing her down. And again, she's able to just go with the Stampede to take her out. Synchro tied up. Good maneuvers by Minion. A good Terrify down too, as Sao will be zoned back. But it's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Xeno Lilies. Taro looking to get that value from it. Will still have to jump back to the BMI placed behind.
Okay, and that's exactly what they needed there. Xeno Lilies will go ahead and take this Lord, start it up. They can't probably just go for it because Killway is just around the corner. She might be able to go ahead and threat them off from fully committing to it, trying to buy 30 seconds or so for the whole team to be back up for this. The rest of the team is going to have to support her in this whole decision. Once again, this Lord is quite beefy and tanky. Minun also has an immortality, and they can't commit to it, so that is exactly what VSG wanted, and they'll get it. So they're going to find themselves once again at that situation where it's a dance-off. You can already see 2 items are fully locked in. Start locking in the potions next.
It's another stalemate, technically, because really, if we take a look at the items even, I mean, they're literally just swapping items back and forth at this point. No boots for Rian. She's going to go for the Rose Gold Meteor instead, but the main problem is, I think, where Victory Song gamers find an advantage, Xeno Lilies can use another advantage, right? Yeah. Xeno Lilies, the sustain has been...
We're back into the game here again for this crucial Lord take.
Mortality.
Most likely the game-defining Lord for either of the teams that's able to get it. Yeah, there's still multiple immortalities available here for VSG. Now on the other side too, same thing with Xeno Lilies. And once again, yeah, the gold difference at this point, you know, it doesn't really matter, but they're all farmed up, even Playground like we talked about before.
Winter Crown back again, this time for Taro, so she will swap that immortality for. And this is why, by the way, the Claude is just so much better when it comes to these item swaps because, hold up, Mortal Coil used up. Gaily able still to find Onward and the Earth Shatter down onto Cal, but now they bait out the Netherrealm. That might be it. That might be their win con right now. As they go in, good Mortal Coil. Winter Crown of the Blazing Duet. Rion forced back. Using Winter Nature and Immortality still there. Kiowe, but it's good for Eye for an Eye as Minion is going to be caught. Is able to get the defensive Furious Dive. Onsa with a chase and finds the kill. Minion going to fall. The sustain still too much for VSG to handle.
It's too much. Look at the nice push up top, though. But that is most likely just going to be the Lord taken. I mean, you already talked about this in when we had that little break. The sustainability is too much. I mean, interesting the way that Winter Crown's been played in the hands of Taro here, because she goes, she pops the Blazing Duet, and then she Winter Crowns. And she just sits there, and then eventually the Heart Guard comes through too. So you have to expend so much if you're VSG against this lineup from Xenolilies. And that massive damage, once again, you're taking a look at it, 142,000 locked in here. And it's funny, because there's the Sea Albert. Yep, Giveaway's like, you know what? Sustainability, we need some more to deal with this. So she picks up the Sea Halbert, but it might be too late. Lord in the mid lane. This is a strong one, possibly ending game here. But they'll go ahead and push in. Let's see if they can defend.
It's evolved. Bottom lane, Kiowe trying to deal with Taro, but she's still going to be able to just siege that down. Gaily, Onward, Earth Shatter, Ramichi still able to survive now. Pops into Mortal Coil, Eternal Guard, baited out. Penalty zone coming down, not able to connect onto anyone. Kiowe with a final blow into the midst of it all right now, still able to get out. Petrified and Furious Dive, connecting on a cow. Meanwhile, Gaily with the Primal Rat won't be able to stay sustainable. Has the Immortality pop, Sa again. Finding the Mega Kill, Synchro. Getting the Terrified down, Glowing Wand tick onto Cow is burning her down, but she's still able to survive. Synchro getting the Ghost Bursters down, the Glowing Wand, but she gets the healing. Now Eye for an Eye. Kiowe still able to run away. Ramichi with the help of the Hard Guard goes into the base vicinity, looking for the damage. Rion, Gunsaw down, picking up a shutdown. Now as a Black Dragon form charges into the midst of it all. Once again, Taro has the Immortality. That's Minion. No Petrified to be used up just yet as the Blazing Duel will come through. Eye for an Eye and the Thunderbelt proc coming down as the final blow will be used up by Kiowe. Ramichi disengages for the team, but 3 base turrets have been taken down.
Hey, VSG, they stay in the game. I would say what a successful defense against, you know, it's not often that you see that Lord, that push, what is it, the third one, being able to defend here. And as you take a look at the STC replay, this is, you know, I thought it would almost end, but they cleared out the minions enough to keep that one Canyon minion just outside of the range and able to work around it. So VSG, they've bought themselves time in this game. Again, we're going to see some item swapping going on. Earlier, we saw 2 Winter Crowns picked up for VSG. And even then, you know, also switched in for Xenolilies now that Cal picks one up as well. So given how that whole situation went, I mean, Xenolilies couldn't cap out the game just yet. They're going to go back. I mean, it's going to be exactly what we saw previously, where it all comes down to the next Lord dance. I mean, we're talking 3 Lords we've gone through. This is rare, I would say. You know, we don't often, like I said, we don't often see the Lords get to this point. So all that means, too, is once that 4th one comes up at nearly the, we'll be close to the 27-minute mark or the 28-minute mark, this is going to be even more crucial on how they approach the fight. Juggling the items, even, if you will, is going to play a big part of it because, as you see, Rion earlier had the Immortality, doesn't have it now. Might switch for it later once that cooldown does come available. But I'm not sure if it will for the fight. So far, they're going to kind of just wait things out. You can already see that territory established here for Xenolilies. And maybe this is a time to make a cheeky play from VSG. You can see them already kind of setting things up here. Multiple times we've seen Gaily use the Conceal, try to set something up. And if that means just baiting out the Netherrealm, that could be a part of that. Because look at this. I mean, wow, look at the massive damage taken as well. This game is breaking numbers here, I'd say.
Absolutely it is, man. This is why the Terizla is just so much more valuable. This is why usually we always see the Terizla picked even more than the Yuzong, right?
Yeah.
Because even though Yuzong technically can make more plays happen, Terizla's just so consistent with it. And the Lord is also very consistent with that damage from Ichi. The thing is, for Xenolilies, they can afford to have their jungler, their frontliner, take that much damage. Shiromi's always just back there, sitting, waiting for the call. Hey, you want heals, brother? Just call me. Yeah.
And at that point too, you know,
Satu walks up.
I was gonna say, you can do that, and this is the Lord. Like if I envisioned a Lord, this would be the voice line that we heard earlier from LaFell.
Yeah.
You know,
Sometimes it's 5,
Yeah.
sometimes it's 10.
Sometimes.
I like dancing.
This even with the sustainability they have, you can see that they still don't want to fully just kind of sit there. They are still going to respect the fact that VSG can pull something off, but one thing that VSG has to do that's tough for them is managing the waves. All 3 waves pushing into the base is an extra kind of chore that they have to take care of before they can actually do this. So they might... Oh, hold on. Gaily, though. Eternal Guard already going to be dropped.
And the armor and Earth Shatter now penalty zone, locking them down. Is that going to be Taro again, jumping to the back line, able to get minions so low. Meanwhile, Kiowe isolated in the back, all alone. That's the jungler, and it's an amazing execution from Xeno Lilies.
70 seconds. That is a long death timer for Kiowe. It looked like, you know, they wanted to start a fight. They wanted to do something. Gaily went in. They dropped the Eternal Guard. But ultimately, Kiowe gets trapped in a position she doesn't want to be in. And that is Lord going to be taken by Ramichi.
A desperate attempt to go for the Lord. Ramichi just decimates through Gaily. And now with another member having to deal with a 70-second death timer. An evolved Lord. 2 members down. Only Synchro Rian. Technically no frontliners.
No frontliners here. Minuna might be the only one. She doesn't have Dragon Form. Now she does. She has it available. They could try to buy as much time as possible, but even 50 seconds on Gaily, 30 away for Kiowe. VSG is going to find themselves at a numbers disadvantage for this push. Lord makes its way down the mid. The pokes from Saw alone will send them back to the fountain to heal up. It's looking grim. It's looking dire. It's been 30 minutes, and Xeno Lilies will go push it.
Even with the dragon, she's getting gunned down from the sky. Saw again with the Ghost Bursters. Good Petrify and the Furious Dive. They've done it so many times this game, but not anymore. That miraculous defense will come to a halt.
Whew. That was a long one. I think that so far that has to be our longest game.
30 minutes?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Grok is solid as well, but again, you're gonna give a pretty big ultimate. Oh wait, a Tigro.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, Tigro.
But then again, Valen will just steal that. I mean, it's not always that if ever Valentina is there, you don't pick up a hero with a big ultimate. At some point, you're gonna have to
This
decide.
Valentina is a problem.
Yeah. And then if it's Purify on the side of the Valentina, then oof.
Yeah. Ruby.
Okay,
Yeah,
Ruby.
There you
Great call, man. On point right now. The Drizzler earlier, now the Ruby. So that should make things a little bit more difficult for the Julian and the Valentina.
I feel carry should be pretty okay here if they want it.
They just need something like with really strong, fast basic attacks to lock down. Earlier was the Beatrix, so yes, I agree with you. The carry would be really good. Because you already have 2 sources of magic damage. You go physical, good call. Come on, try it. Try to get it. Try to get the last one. Go for it, man.
The Yuzong is still open.
Okay, let's see.
Just saying, the Yuzong is still open. If they want to get it, they can. If not, maybe something like an X-Borg.
All right, that's your 2 calls. Yuzong and X-Borg. Hold it B.
What? Oh, Arlet.
Okay,
Forgot about
Yuzong, X-Borg, Arlot. Pick one, real quick.
Yuzong.
Oh, let's go, bro. I'm thinking maybe Lilia? Oh!
Kagura. It's okay.
I wish they went for a bit of a longer...
No, I feel
Team
like it's because of the Valentina, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's because of the Valentina. You're running out of options. So it's like maybe your job is just to handle the carry.
Ooh. All right, LaFell on fire with the predictions today. But has VSG found the right fire to make sure that they will be going into the tiebreakers later again for a chance to secure top 1 in the seed? Or are the Lilies from Vietnam gonna say, nah, it ends here, no tiebreaker later, and we're gonna secure that top 1 spot in Group C? My name is Renmar. Again, LaFell is the analyst here. But we're now going to be going to our casters, and let's see if I'll get it right this time. It's Mirko and Naisu. Let's go, boys.
There you go. You got it. You got it, Redmar. Thank you so much, guys, breaking it down. The draft here at LaFell as well. Great calls, man. I feel like, you know, there's a part of, too, LaFell that's happy that Kagura's back on the table. A lot of times we've seen her pop up many times now for these games. And I like what you guys did earlier, too. You know, dude.
Dude.
The game that she had earlier was a huge component to that damage potential that we saw earlier. And I think that's also what warranted the ban that we saw against that Faramis. But taking a look at it this time with the lineup here for VSG, we know that, you know, if they can get the 1-1 in this series, then we're going to have, of course, that tiebreaker potential there for later on. Which, again, just take note that everybody watching that the tiebreakers are happening on Stream B. There is going to be a Stream B for you guys if you want to watch those. So looking at this, you know, Mirko, what do you think of the lineup this time around for VSG? Is it better for them in this one than what they brought to the table in the previous game?
I would say it's very, very similar, but in a way, yeah, I do like it a bit more. I love the carry. I like the carry way more compared to the Beatrix last game, especially in lane against the Claude, right? Because at least this time on the carry, you have many ways to beat the Claude in lane, get a lot of that kill pressure up top, and you can already see it from VSG, utilizing the kill pressure on the Claude, rotating up top, trying to get that lead to be even bigger as we get into that first neutral objective. But even for the side of Xeno Lilies, I feel like they're coming at it with a bit more risk, right? The Kagura pick, I really like it. The Ruby pick too, great way to actually try to shut down a few of these very short-ranged heroes. Because even Synchro on the Valentina, she's ranged, but she's very short range. She can actually be punished a lot by the Ruby. But we haven't really been seeing a lot of Ruby roams, huh?
Yeah, it's good to see that. I mean, she works either way, but also I'm wondering, like, for Synchro, what ultimate is your best option to take here? Most likely, we can even see her take Shiromi's ultimate, the I'm Offended, for setup potential. She actually takes the penalty zone now from Kao. Oh,
Fierce dive, straight into the Petrify, and the penalty zone side gonna be taken out by the passive damage overtime there. And man, holy moly, that was so much sudden damage. Dude couldn't really handle that Shiromi back enough as well. This is why the Yuzong is special when it comes to the instant initiations. If you're in range, you're in for a lot of trouble. You're not gonna go for the turtle, they're instead gonna go for the purple buff. Instead, Gaily right there. Rumichi, Retribution already baited out, so they can go for the turtle for free.
Yeah, just go ahead and take that turtle. They already got the Retribution out. This is going to be objective. So this is a whole lot of good happening in the early game for VSG here. Turtle secured, objective secured. And, you know, that had to feel bad for Cal earlier because, yeah, penalty zone was in the hands of Synchro, and she didn't have hers yet. You know, she was still level 3, and she could do nothing but watch as that penalty zone was used. So they'll go ahead, of course, speeding up some of the farming here for Taro. Also taking a look, Fury Hammer now locked in for Michi. Still working on these first items to lock into place here. I think also when we talk about it, it looks like the Enchanted Talisman is going to be the first item for Synchro. And when you have to kind of break down the mid laners here, Kagura is still in a position where a lot of teams, you know, they will draft or they'll pick her. We see our pickup yesterday as well. And the burst is actually pretty good. I think it does pair up well, especially if you can synchronize it with your setups, like the penalty zones or the I'm Offendeds. It's just, at the same time, I feel like it's good playing against a Minoyan's Fury, you know, from Gaily here. But the burst damage that comes through it, and also the outplayability. That's what I love about Kagura. The outplayability that her kit brings to the table might be enough for Xeno Lilies to kind of rely on, or going back to the question, you know, for Synchro, best ultimates to take. You know, she's got a couple options here across. I'm not sure if she'll ever take the, of course, the Kagura ultimate, but for the most part, the I'm Offended, the penalty zone will be her go-to. And so, once again, the focus on this purple buff, the resources, they want to choke it out. Oh, that I'm Offended is not going to land. So, but penalty zone is held on from Synchro. And this could just be VSG, again, leading now almost, you know, 1,500 up. Enchanted Talisman locked in, waiting for the objective to pop up here.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Gold difference, you can see right now, it's being held by VSG, and even in the bottom lane, it's completely different from what we saw previously. Previously, it was Kao getting the better of Minion here in the lane constantly, but even in the mid lane, Synchro, you can definitely see how much more comfortable she is on the Valentina compared to the Vexana. Because she is a playmaker. She wants to dash back and forth. Yin Yang overturn. Gonna be used up by Sa there, actually, in the mid bush. So a resource already spent, and Synchro can just regen back up. VSG on the turtle, holding it down. Gailey's trying to zone them away as Shiromi looks for an angle. Black Dragon from going to use up right now as Kyoe secures the turtle with a retribution. That's a penalty zone from Cal, but now gets caught in the penalty zone as well. Good petrify. Shiromi able to flicker around. Cal not able to do the same thing. Just a few more hits for a minute to get the passive down, but Shiromi will be able to walk away. Ramichi, though, up top, zoned away from the team. Has the quad shadow. She goes for the farm. Shadow kill even used up. Goes back to the quad shadow. Still sandwiched.
She's sandwiched. I don't think, can they actually get a kill under the turret here?
Oh, it's scary, and Shane knocking her up now into the Yuzong damage, and Kyoe picks her up top.
Good juggle.
Yes, she can.
Yeah, good juggle. Utilizing the lineup that they had. Wow, okay, Sanko's in again. Not going to be able to get the kill on Synchro. She is still going to spot them out, but here comes Kyoe. Okay, she just forces her back. But Shiromi.
Good chain. Really good enhanced chain right there to stop anything from happening.
Yeah, conceal use as well in the exchange. Purple buff is back up, and I think you just see VSG do the same thing. Put pressure there. They're looking to get that tier 1 now on the bottom side. Put the pressure in the side lanes for now. And at the same time, man, I gotta say, this is a much better start, I would say, for VSG than what they had to do in the previous game. And really, you pointed this out earlier, I think it's just so much better, even when you're talking about the gold lane for Rian. She's been able to just farm up and kind of have like a very peaceful time. Taro has as well, but look at the damage difference on the turrets, right? That alone shows that Rian is having a better time pushing this in. They will get that tier 1 down finally. And so that's going to be the first turret now in the hands of VSG.
Well played. Utilizing the siege, utilizing the winning lane so well in game number 2. Now into the mid lane they go. Actually, Yin Yang overturned now. With him in his fury, good shadow kill, but not enough damage to take anyone down. Gailey just stops the ground, gets grabbed by the scythe, and will be taken out. Perfect timing. Whoa, that's a shadow kill steal. Synchro is looking for the kills now. Oh, petrify! And the Furious Diving Lane has chain knockup, and the fadeaway kill with a damage overtime minion. Now with the Black Dragon form, stunning Shiromi, forcing to flicker out. Synchro shadow kill! That's what she was waiting for. Cal getting obliterated in the splash together with the last few hits from Rian. 3 for 0.
3 for 0. And you know what? In the last fight before that broke out, I was like, man, Xeno Lilies did so much to set things up. But look at the STC replay here.
Wow.
It's airtime for Namichi, and I mean, she gets thrown in the air, and even the Dragon Form to zone out Shiromi was a great placement. And then they clean it up with Cow. It just seemed like the space that they had to work with for VSG and the lineup that they have, they played it to a T there. So once again, Shiromi's going to go in with the I'm Offended. But yeah, Kyoe, that's the power of the Julian.
Yep.
Go ahead and enhance out of there.
So annoying. The Julian. Every single time he can really just step out, enhance sword, fool, or enhance chain, fool, or if you're ever, you know, stunned up, enhance sight. That one deals the most damage. That one is a big ouchie. We didn't see that, Rian. It's okay.
Yeah, we didn't see that. Let's take a look at the items here. All right, we got the, now the second item's locked in. Also, speaking of it, you know, Kyoe has the Genius Wand, now the Starlium Scythe. So the Power Spike is definitely going to be at this point, too, for VSG. And looking at Rian, I mean, she's got the Trinity. She's got the 3 items locked in. She went a little more defensive, too. Has the Wind of Nature. But that's enough. I'm Offended going to be used again, but then even the response with this, the Flask of the Oasis also just got picked up. And this is what I mean, that mid-game power spike with this lineup. It takes quite a bit of damage, though.
Whoa, she's still coming back. Minion's Fury gonna be used up. Cow with the penalty zone, not connecting to anyone. Kyoe obliterating that HP bar. Where did she go? Penalty zone from Synchro. But I'm Offended catches him right now. It's asking me Kyoe still in the midst of it all. Dealing some damage. Looking for Taro. She watches there. Good in that scythe. That's a maniac for Kyoe.
Oh, man. I mean, she had some troubles last game. With this game, it's not happening. Locks in the Julian, gets a maniac. We're going to take a look at the STC replay. Talk about a setup here for a success for this maniac. It all broke out in the jungle. They get a kill on Cow, but look at this. Under the turret even. Talk about a play from Gailey. Goes in, jumps in, cleans up. They don't care about the turret. They'll take all the kills. Kyoe does it cleanly too. Oh, again, you can see just, you know, the reactions from the players, of course, with that. The getting set up under the turret like that doesn't feel too good.
Yeah, you can definitely see the nod and the smile of like, you got us.
Yeah.
You got us on that one, man.
Well
that was
played.
a good play. Because, man, Kiyoi played that so well. Enhanced chain on one. Oh, sorry, the chain on one, enhanced sword to chase the others. That was beautifully done by Kiyoi. And you can see now, Rian just reaping the benefits of all of those kills. Taking the turrets for free, and this is all without the Lord. It's still down below. It's going to build up quite big into the base turret push right now. And even the VSG, they're doing such a good job at manipulating the waves, because now it's going to be slow push down below, waiting for that 40-second timer, like 1040, for the next mini waves, and then they're going to have a build-up wave bot with the 2 waves pushing in.
Big waves. Not only that, but also
BW.
Feather of Heaven. Yeah, big W. Feather of Heaven picked up. You thought you got the enhanced locked in more, but now it's going to happen even faster.
Oh, man.
So this is very tough for Xenolilies. I know, you know, last game we saw, what, 4 Lords go through, but with this lead that we're seeing from VSG in the lineup that they have, they can actually force a fight here under the turret, and they might actually do just that, depending. Keep an eye on Gailey. How they go in Kyle. Oh, Synchro.
Synchro with penalty zone gets caught by the offended. Taro able to demolish her in the backline. Gailey with the Minute's Fury right now. Kiyoi still dealing so much damage. Rian is free hitting in the back. Taro able to escape with the BMI. Ramichi taking a whole lot of punishment just from a fadeaway basic attack of Rian, and that passive ticking down on them. Base turret taken down with the first Lord.
Okay, Xenolilies pretty successful. You know, they only lose that 1 turret despite being down by 6,000 gold when that fight broke out. Now down 8,000. So they'll have to go ahead and kind of farm back up again. They don't have anything on the map, guys. Like, they have no turret to work with. They have no turrets down. They don't have any space to make these moves. So what happens for Xenolilies is they're kind of stuck to play together. You know, they kind of have to just hope that, all right, Taro's going to pop off at some point in the game, especially when she gets the items that she needs. You can see, you know, Saw's still doing respectable damage. But unfortunately, it's just kind of they're outscaled right now in terms of firepower, and even defensively, being able to withstand those forced initiations. We saw Synchro do it earlier with the penalty zone. The same thing can happen with Gailey here with the Minoan Fury. So Ramichi will go ahead, take her time here, because of course, you know, she's just not sure. This is what I was saying, you know, the team kind of has to stay together, and anyone by themselves is at a risk. Oh no, I don't think, okay, she's gonna be fine. Has the quad shatters get out, but just trying to manage the waves. Again, scrape up any farming that you can here, any gold and XP that you can grab.
You're just trying to get, you know, the farm, but this is why, by the way, I think at MSC, Wolf is a big hater of the Assassin plus the Claude, because both of them need resources. Both of them need to go for farm, and if you do fall behind, this is why it can be a greedy pick or a greedy choice to go for the Assassin plus the Claude, because now you can see it. Taro's looking for gold, Ramichi's looking for gold as well, and in the end, they're going to have to divide it, and it's going to take them way more time to get online, especially in a game like this. 12-5, Enhanced Lord taken down for free by VSG. They've taken a base turret for free there. And yeah, I mean, it's tough.
You know
at this point of the game, 13 minutes, she has the 3 item power spikes. Usually it's like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even this Saw, like, she gets the Holy Crystal. I was going to say, is she going to lock in another item before this defense? Because right now she's just got the boots, she's got the Lightning Truncheon, and then she's got Holy Crystal now. So I'm wondering if that's enough even burst to help with this fight, as now the eyes are set here on the top side. They're just forced back, though. Once again, they still have to deal with the Lord, the push there on the bottom side, waiting for these waves to push in. Xenolilies will go ahead and work it down. It is half health. This might be enough for them to hold on, but the waves now come in. Keep an eye. Dragon Form going to be used.
Flicker into the front, Sa trying to go for some damage. Jinyang overturned there. Rian able to flicker out. I'm offended to bring them back, and the Furious Knight connects, but the penalty zone does too. They're fighting under the base, and they are going to lose their lives. Minion still in the midst of it all. Still Kiyoi somehow winning in the fight, going for the few slashes. Kyle doing some damage back. Penalty zone to go for the chase. And half sword. Kiyoi still survives. Rian going for the damage now with the Wind of Nature as well. Forced to back off. There's a quad shadow there, but she doesn't take it. They got 3 base turrets. VSG won that.
Kiyoi, I don't know how many times she has done it so smoothly, man.
That was insane.
That was insane. So clean with this Julian. I thought the Benedetta earlier today was clean. This takes the cake for it. This is it. Kiyoi on the Julian. Yeah, she is. And man, at the same time, Xenolilies, they stay in the game, but they lost all their base turrets. And it was more so a decision from VSG to be like, you know what? We'll fight here, but Rian went up, cleaned up the turret on the top side, and at the whole point, Killway actually kept the attention of Xenolilies and just outplayed on the Julian pick, and that's why we were saying, you know, this is such a strong hero with the ability to juke, to bait things out, to just maneuver around these skirmishes and these team fights. I might want to find it out.
Yeah, not onto Gailey, right? That's a Minotaur. Riichi now going to be caught by Synchro. Terrified down. Oh, the shadow kill! The assassination! Gailey finds the kill. She waits there onto the last quad shadow.
I said, I don't know what, you know, the quad shadow would work or not, but I'm surprised they went for Gailey in the exchange. And so now they're down the member. I think VSG might just go ahead and run it into the base and try to end this one.
No Romichi. So their backline is completely safe. Rian doesn't really need to care. Synchro doesn't really need to care about who can dive back, but they go for the safe route.
Discipline route, yep.
Is obviously going to be the Enhanced Lord. 16 minutes in. That shadow kill, man.
That shadow kill, you know, when you see it happen, you're kind of like, too bad, you know.
I'm the ninja now.
I'm the ninja now. All right, Lord secured here. Xenolilies, they've been through this multiple times up to this point. We're 16 minutes in, but 3 Lords down already. And they have to just watch and get prepped up for this defense. Because once again, with these items all being pretty much locked in, that was a Winter's Crown 2 actually now for VSG. They're once again going to go for the outplay and just try to punch this one in. It's 4,000 ahead in terms of gold between the junglers here. Absolutely massive game for Killway. Picks up the potion as well. And so they actually still might try to make a play here. Wow, Synchro. Okay, she didn't get the one she wanted, right? No. Lord, though, mid lane, Xenolilies, are they going to be able to defend this? Can they stay in the game a little bit further? 17 minutes in, Dragon forming to go down.
Great waves as well, placed down. Kyle gonna be terrified, taking down a quarter of his HP now. With his Fury knocking up 3 members there. That's gonna be Grumichi completely taken out of the board. Victory Song Gamers equalize. And now there's gonna be a tiebreaker for first place.
The victory song plays loudly in this game at number 2 here. 1-1. Man, what a just adjustment.
Wow.
That we saw from VSG here. What a performance. Like,
yeah.